Welcome back to the Folkestone Status Show with me, Kay McLaughlin, joined in the studio now by my first guest of the day, Lynsey. Good morning, Lynsey.
Morning, Kay.
Lovely to see you. Lynsey from Folkestone Libraries. I call it Folkestone Libraries because that's the Facebook page, isn't it?
It covers the whole district, the Folkestone and Hive district.
Yes, so it's all the libraries, isn't it?
Libraries.
And you're in today, though, to talk about Folkestone Library because they've got a new playgroup, and also Cheriton Library reopens. Let's start with the playgroup first. Now, this is a different type of playgroup, isn't it?
It's very different and quite hard to describe. It's unusual in the sense that it's a lot of the families that have come along said, I've never been to anything like this before, ever. And it is for very young babies, so it's only up to 24 months, so 0 to 24 months. And it's run by 3 artists, professional artists and creative people that lead the session. And it's focuses on bonding and using very simple objects to engage your baby. So it's lovely.
So what, are they making noise with them, are they?
Yeah, so one of the artists creates music, and it can be music from sort of twinkly objects up to, he takes a microphone round and babies make noises into the microphone and then it repeats, and it's very soothing. There's nothing sort of rambunctious about it. It's very calming. People have described it as zen, so
so they got beanbags so they can all go and lay down afterwards.
It's like going to the spa, I think.
Is it, with a baby, basically?
minus the water, but yeah.
Now, you've started already, haven't you? You've had 2 sessions already. So what happened in these 2 sessions? Were they fully booked? Or how many people
fully
go along?
Booked. So because of the nature of it, and it is a focusing on the parent and child bonding, we do limit the numbers to 10 families. So if you want to booking is necessary to make sure you're not disappointed when you turn up. But you can book by emailing Folkestone Library, all one word, at kent.gov.uk, and we can let you know if we can get you onto the next session, or if that one's fully booked, we can get you onto the very next one.
Okay.
But it's something that everybody should experience, I think, because it's so unusual.
So this happens on a Monday between 2 p.m. to 2:45, which is perfect for mums or dads who've got to go on the school pick-up, because the baby's all chilled after that. They've had lunch, then they've gone to this, and they've had all this calming sort of like thing going on, and then they go and pick the kids up, and the parents are probably in a better mood then as well when they walk out of there, aren't they? So what did they do in the first 2 sessions then? Can you give us an example of what happened? Or
it's, like I said, it's very hard to explain, but it's all soft on the floor, and the artists have the best way to describe it is a nest of objects in the middle, and everything's black and white because the theory behind it is all around child development, and babies that young, colours can be overwhelming, so it's all black and white, which engages their eyes, doesn't overstimulate, and they can really be involved in the play. So they had things like ribbons, they had little socks with bells, and it's all things that you've got laying around at home, and they use these materials in a different way that artists would use them, as you know, the group's run by artists, so they come up with interesting ways to use the objects.
And what are the children's reactions like?
I think they're a little perplexed, at least initially, but then as the session goes on, you really see a change in them, and it goes off into the group is called Playground, and it goes off into this unusual sort of playground-esque thing, but it's still very calming and chilled, if you like.
So it sounds like a totally different to any other play group.
It's so hard to describe because it is so unusual, but the music and the sounds and the children sort of interacting, it's absolutely beautiful to watch.
Okay, now these are free sessions, aren't they? So you don't even have to pay for it, but what you have to do is you have to book in advance. So if people want to book, is there a list on the Folkestone Library website or the Facebook page to tell you what sessions are coming up or when? Anything
Absolutely,
like that?
Yeah, we'll have them on our Facebook page. So all the up-to-date information is usually on our Facebook page, but it is available through the website as well, which is kent.gov.uk. And if you find the library link, then you can search for your local area, because we're not the only area that run in Playground. But, you'll see all the Folkestone sessions on there.
So they can find that. So, and if you want to apply, if you want to book for it as well, there is an email. It's folkestonelibraries@kent.gov.uk. So that's every Monday between 2 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. These are free sessions. How long is it running for?
At the moment, it's running up until June. That's when the libraries have funding to run it for, but we're hoping that it will go on indefinitely. That's the plan. So, yeah,
Okay, and is it 3 different artists each week?
It's the same ones.
Oh, it's the same ones. It's the 3. So are they local artists? Do we know them? Or we have to mention them?
They're local to Kent, I believe.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly where they found them, but there's a whole, like I said, because this is across the whole of Kent, there's a whole bank of artists and they go around to all the different districts and run the sessions. But we're really lucky with our artists. They're absolutely brilliant.
Okay, so that's the playgroup. And now we're going to talk about Cheriton Library. It's reopening. I didn't realise it was closed because that's not my local library, obviously. But it's being refurbished. So it's opening again. What date is it opening again?
We're expecting it to reopen on Monday, the 28th of February. So it's coming up soon.
About 2 weeks. So 2 weeks this
left.
Monday it's going to be open. And what have you done in there?
It's not a full refurb, but you will expect to see some huge changes. Anyone that's familiar with Cheriton Library will remember it's got a huge jungle mural above the children's bookshelves. That's gone, which some people will probably be sad to know, but we're having a very special art piece put in its place, which was designed by Richie Moment, and it's a legacy piece from the Cheriton Light Festival. It's going to look very different, so come in and check it out.
Is that from Strange Cargo? They've donated that. Oh, well done to Strange Cargo.
Fantastic.
And then you also mentioned to me off air about there's a community carpet in the Cheriton Library.
We've had it quite a few years, and it was a Strange Cargo project, and lots of different people from the community input a design or something that was special to them that was then designed and made into a big carpet, and we've got that at Folkestone Library. We've had schools come to see it. There's a little book that accompanies it, so you can see who suggested the pieces, and there's lots of different artwork.
So is it like a mosaic sort of carpet?
It is, yeah.
And what are all the pictures of on there?
There's loads of things. There's bumblebees, there's flowers, there's all sorts.
Oh wow! So does that have to get cleaned regularly then, I suppose?
It does, yeah. It needs a good hoover every now and then, especially because children, when you're working with children at the library, you say, go and stand on your favourite picture, and because it's quite a big carpet, there's lots of choice, so they can, lots of different children standing on the
Brilliant. So that's going to be cleaned and put back in there.
Yep.
Also, you can have that light installation from Strange Cargo. What else has happened? Have you had painting done? Have you had stuff moved around?
Yeah, so the desk will be in a different place, which, anybody that's used to the library, I think it's going to be a bit discombobulating at first. Cause
big word there. You can tell you work for a library, can't you?
It might be a bit too early to try and say words like that.
Yeah, especially for me. So it's going to be a real surprise when people go in there.
I think so.
I mean, when was the last time it was refurbished? If you said that jungle theme has been there, how many people are still coming in saying it was there when they were a child?
20 years, but it's been a lot.
At least
time
20
coming.
years.
At least 20 years, I think. Yes.
So that's all exciting. Is there any one going to be reopening it?
We are planning to have a bit of a party to celebrate the refurb, but that will come in the next couple of months. We've got so much new stock coming in for Cheriton, especially for the refurb. So there's going to be a huge stock refresh. So again, another really good reason to come in and see what's going on. But that should all be in place by sort of April, May time. So we'll have a big party to celebrate its reopening and its refresh.
Oh, you're not going to get anyone to cut the ribbon on the 28th then?
We're hoping to. I can't give anything away in case it's...
Lynsey!
We're hoping to.
So you might have someone special come along and open and cut the ribbon or something.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I'm free.
Nice. Yeah,
I'm only joking. Something to do with me. Brilliant. So if people want to find out more about Cheriton Library, they can go into Folkestone Libraries.
In the meantime,
on the Facebook group.
Or come along on any time from Monday the 28th to have a look.
Brilliant. Okay, so Cheriton Library's reopening on the 28th. Go and see all the refurb in there. If you're a regular there, you might be a bit surprised, happily surprised by the changes up there. Well done to Strange Cargo for providing the lights for that, and also the carpet that's involved in the community carpet. And also the playgroup is happening every Monday at Folkestone Library. Are there plans to have a playgroup at Cheriton Library, do you think, in the future?
We're hoping this spreads out, but because we have to rely on the professional artists, it's not something that anybody can try their hand at. It is really tailored to a very specific...
Maybe you can get localised to do it, can't you?
That would be amazing.
I'm sure they would. I'm sure they'd get involved.
Yeah.
Because Wood Avenue used to have a playgroup there in the room there, and then the pandemic has just messed everything up, hasn't it, with playgroups?
It has. This is going to be quite an exciting year as everything builds back up, and we've got loads of community projects in the pipeline, so anybody that wants to keep in the loop about what the library are doing, follow our Facebook page, because there's so much information on there about what's coming up.
Brilliant. Lots of exciting news. Lynsey, we'll get you back in with any more exciting news you have for the libraries during the year. It's been a pleasure having you back on the Folkestone Status Show. I'm going to go back to the music now. I've got the vaccines coming up next, followed by Tom Robinson. I'll be back after that with more of the Folkestone Status Show on Academy FM Folkestone.